Jesus.
So how do you feel, Johan?
Exhausted.
Should we grab your car?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Johan, how do you feel?
So excited, finally. Such a long wait.
We are waiting some time,
Yeah.
hasn't it? I was referring to the mini ride.
Good morning. Ooh, I can see it.
Johan, how do you feel?
Now I'm not so exhausted, excited more. We're gonna drive this today.
We are. So your first GT car.
Yeah, finally. Finally.
So how do you feel in comparison to the Carrera T? Now you have sold the 991 Carrera T and you're about to drive out with a GT4.
I think the excitement is much bigger this time actually, but we'll see. We haven't driven it yet, so haven't got anything to compare to yet, but looks good, huh?
I think it looks marvelous. Oh, white is always white. And the spec that is driver focus makes the car complete. If it were equipped with nonsense such as leather deviated stitching etc, it would just look insecure. A GT car with a wing needs to be focused. PCCP is light, costly but nice to have. Black calipers together with Porsche logo in satin black, a must have on a white GT4. Remember, there is nothing red standard except for the calipers and rear reflex that you will black out easy.
First time in the GT4.
What is your first impression?
Feels quite similar to the old car I had, even if it was a 911. But it's more snug, isn't it? Yeah.
I think I know what you mean, because my Cayman T, I had the same experience. It's more tighter, I believe, the experience sitting in the driver's seat.
Yeah, the office. Huh?
The office. So should we take a drive?
Let's do it. Jump in.
So you're actually going to start your car for the first time,
Yep.
Is that true?
Let's see how it is.
Am I risking my life now going with you?
You're always doing that, Janko.
No. That's the perk being friend with you. It's like, you know...
Don't say too much now, Janko.
Who is complaining about the sound?
I don't know. So how was this then? Like that?
Okay, could you do me a favor? Scratch your car.
No.
It is.
There it is. There she stands, yeah.
Johan, we are about to pick up my car. I actually got a pulse.
Pulse, yeah.
Oh, my heart is...
It's pounding. So this was the first drive ever in this car.
You have to say something.
Should I say something? I mean, I love it already. And then start, stops, turns on. Here we are.
So next stop, Johan.
What do we find here?
Reflection. How many times do you drive or being driven to your delivery in a GT4? I think that is...
Is it the first in the world?
Cars. So here we are. As we have. I have seen this car not once, not twice, more than 10 times. It has been in Porsche Center Danbury showroom, but for crying out loud, it is a beautiful car. And I love what AutoShield has done with the Stealth XPEL. I think it is so amazing. Whew. Whew. I guess the keys are not here. We have to find Jessica to see if we could open it and jump into it. Oh, this is going to be a true pleasure driving it. Ooh. My first convertible.
Nice. So we have to pop this one, the first thing we do.
And, Johan, take a look at this.
What is that?
Ta-da!
Is it my front lip?
Well, actually, ladies and gentlemen, this is my first modification with spare parts directly from Porsche. I'm not sure if I'm going to... This is the GT4 front lip that I'm going to fit and destroy Andreas Preuninger's, well-designed and calculated aerodynamics. It is dead because I'm fitting the GT4 front lip on my Spyder because I think it looks better. It's going to destroy the aerodynamics. Yes, I know. Andreas Preuninger, well, actually, if I think of it, remember Andreas Preuninger, when I met him at Goodwood Festival, speed, he was rubbish. He told me that I'm going to get speed shift, so I'm going to start by destroying his work with the aerodynamic. That's actually a good perk to do that, because what happened to that? Ooh, and then obviously, as it should be when you are at Porsche Center down the road, here is my alcoholic-free Richard Julien alcoholic sparkling wine. And I guess these are papers that I actually... Own the car? Well, I think I've already signed and I paid it a month ago. But anyway, I got something. Oh, Porsche driver. So
where's mine?
Where's yours?
I have to talk to Jessica.
I just got a driver's education.
What is that?
It's mine. Actually, I think I bought, was it 5 cars last year from them? I bought the 928 from Porsche Center Örebro, but I think I have 8 of these. Perhaps I can have one for you. What's this? Assistance.
And this one, if you're going to park it. Will you park the car?
No, I will not park the car. I will drive the car. And then we have some, anyway. So let's find Jessica.
The keys.
The keys. So... let's just follow us. Oh yeah, after you.
Thank you.
Are you going to lock your car? Or?
Do I have to? Oh my God. Someone's going to steal it.
You know, this is the perk. Yeah, why don't leave a brand new 718 GT4 with the keys inside the car?
Get it stolen the first day.
Johan.
I'm too excited. I forget everything.
Are you gonna again start to talk about getting coffee and stuff like that?
No, maybe water today. No, this stuff.
First, we have to take a look at the 911 Turbo S that is parked. It is the exclusive, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Have a good look at that. A gold exclusive series. I mean, you would think that it is a non-beautiful car, but it is beautiful color. Hi, Jessica. And I just want to point out one thing. This is a special design vehicle from Porsche. And when they do that particular design, we're going to move this just slightly so you understand what I am talking about. Because when Porsche designed their vehicles, from the design department, this is what happens. The calipers start to get black. That's why I advise as many people as possible to keep them black. Beautiful car. Beautiful car. Let's get the key to my car so we can get going. Let's pause for a second. This is the true and unique moment when you buy a new car. The point when you get possession of your car key. I need to pay more attention to this moment in the future, and if you are about to take delivery, my suggestion is to gather your thoughts when the car key is handed over to you. So Johan, we have the key.
Open her up.
Open her up. Ooh. Well, I have been inside before, but this is such a blast. Ooh. And, well, Porsche Center Dunderhead knows me. There is a present inside as well. Obviously, some water already in place. Oh, perfect. So let's do the most essential part for today. Let's drop the roof, Johan. Up. You have to take it in the right order.
Is there... I don't know, I've never done this.
You have now done this.
So where does it go?
It goes inside here. Well, this is, everybody's gonna have a laugh.
Like that, huh?
Yeah. Are you on? Good.
On.
And then it's a big chunk of, and then you lift, and then you take a large down one there, and you push it.
Mind your fingers.
Mind your fingers. There we go. Push down the spectacular part here. Bang. Flaps down. Whew.
There she is.
There she is. Let's sit down and have something to drink, Johan.
Yep.
You know, I have never ever. Actually, this is a spare key. I have never opened one of the bottles that I have got.
Me neither.
So I wonder if these age well.
Glasses here.
Oof! Are you kidding me? Did we break something?
No.
Oh my gosh!
Just got it in the eye.
Oof! That was a close one. You know that this is alcohol-free from Richard Julien, and I must say that I got this when I purchased my 992. That was the first bottle I got, right? Okay. I just continued drinking it. I have a couple of bottles at home as well. Well, except for these special made for
car deliveries.
Car deliveries. Iwan, congratulations on your GT4. You know we are lucky bastards.
We are.
Cheers. Do we have something more to say?
What?
Do we have something more to say?
You can tell us about your spec, maybe.
Obviously, I'm going to make an entire video of that. It's an elegant spec.
Yeah.
The car behind us, the GT4, it needs to be race spec from my point of view, and the Spyder needs to have some elegance to it, and that's why
A lot of leather.
Well, as I've said so many times, the cows are not that appreciated what I have done to their relatives, but they are slaughtered. I'm not sure how many cows that is.
So are you excited?
I am actually. And we have one dispute. You kindly asked me to remove my toy in the dashboard. You know, putting that toy on the dashboard, it gives a clear signal that is a proper nerd that owns the vehicle.
Yeah.
It is.
I agree.
That's why you need to have it. You know, otherwise you could be, you know, the brat from the city. This is, you know, everybody understand that this is a stupid driver's cars that appreciate the art of driving and is a, you know, a nerd.
Is it going to be fixed there, or are you going to have it falling around? And
No. It's going to be. Is
it glued in?
I can remove it, but it is a proper made solution.
I know you fitted it properly. But still, Janko.
Well, it is a nerd thing, but those who knows. I mean, it's purchased at Porsche Museum at Stuttgart, and I like that nerdy thing because I am a nerd. Remember, I'm an enthusiast. Well, we are. Cheers for nerds. You know, there are many of those viewers on my channel that appreciate you and me talking. So if you are one of them, please like this video.
Yeah.
So should we talk about if this is a proper GT car or not? The GT4 and the Spyder. Remember, it is only Porsche Motorsport that has developed the aerodynamics and the chassis, right? The engine is made by the 718 team.
So it's not a proper, actually, not a proper GT car.
I got some really good comments, and thank you so much for contributing to our community, because that's what I feel what we are creating here, a community for everybody. And I couldn't remember his name, but there was a gentleman that pointed out that for him at least, a GT car is cars that actually are able to be purchased for racing. So you could buy a GT3 and you can buy a GT4 Club Sport, for an example. That was his prerequisites to be called a GT car, where I had a different opinion where Motorsport Department has been a part of the development. So that's why I call the GT4 and the Spyder GT car. As I do with the Speedster as well. I think the 991 Speedster is a proper GT car.
Yeah.
So where do you stand in that?
I mean, I have no recollection of that. I mean, it's like I need to drive the cars and see. I've never owned a GT car, so for me, I think that's a GT car, and I think this is a GT car. So I mean, it handles and feels like a GT car, I think. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the short drive we had here, and when you twisted the wheel, I was in the passenger seat, and that was an experience.
Yeah.
I must say, white is always white, but white pops.
Yeah.
How could we explain? We have been knowing each other for over 20 years, and we say the car pops. How could we explain that for the audience?
I think it's I mean, it pops. It's like opening a champagne bottle. It pops. It's just there, and of course, it's, as we said so many times, during the night time, the white cars are magnificent.
Outstanding.
Yeah. But of course, there are people that wants to have the colors. But yeah, hey.
I think Nick Murray is one of them.
Yeah, I think so too. So I mean, it's just a matter of taste and how you like it. And I happen to like white cars. You have to keep them clean though, and I love the silver that you've done with this, the stealth. And I mean, at the end, you're sitting behind the wheel and driving the car and getting the experience there. Of course, it doesn't hurt that it's good looking as well.
I agree to that, definitely. Yeah. What is your expectation from your GT4, your first GT car?
It's just learning to take everything in, how it's compared to other cars to drive and stuff like that. And I mean, it's just going to be fun to have this car, I think. I want to have fun when I'm driving the car, and I think that's going to be a fun toy. This is also going to be a fun toy because these are toys. Yeah, we're not going to drive to work with these. Probably I will sometimes, you as well. But I mean, it's an expensive toy. It's not the same price as the small toy that you have in the front. But
it's for us nerds.
Yeah.
So. Looking at that and looking at, let's address again the question on how many of these vehicles that will be manufactured. We know that the corona pandemic will affect the number of cars. What do you think about that will be a lot of people that will not get a hold of the cars? Do you see that positive or do you see that negative?
I mean, it's always with these, I mean, GT cars should be able for everyone that wants them. I would say. Of course, value-wise, it's good to have a GT car if you cannot purchase them, of course. But I mean, you're not buying this car for value.
Well, if you do, you're...
Yeah, then you're a collector or whatever,
Yeah, I don't like it.
And these should be out on the roads, been driving around, and then on the racetracks and slaloms, whatever.
Agreed.
B roads and stuff like that. So, but.
And I think it's very important that it is for the drivability of the car that you buy them. I hate the speculations, and therefore I'm actually stand by that. I hope that they manufacture as many as they can to make sure that the entire Porsche community has the ability to really drive a proper GT car, because that's how I feel anyway. I've had driving a lot of Taycan lately. Yeah, and reflection. When I jumped into your car or any other car, all car feels extremely old now when I've been with a Taycan. It's a total game shifts of look and feel. You feel that the 718, 992, it's old cars. Yeah. But the funny thing, I kind of liked it. When you push the throttle a bit, even though you were never over 4,000 RPMs, and you laughed, and I'm afraid that I thought, I've been in the Taycan, the response time in the Taycan is ridiculous, so to speak, and I'm afraid I'm going to hurt a bit of that touch and feel on the natural aspirated engine.
But it's a different ball game, it's something else still. In my world, at least, it's electric cars. They're super nice and responsive, but there's something that's special about the proper engine as well.
It
We're
is.
going for electric cars, of course. It's going to be there in just a couple of years' time. You're probably not going to be able to buy a car like that or this, But
No, we want to.
let's enjoy this moment right now with our engines.
Yeah.
Are you going to go faster in an electric car?
Most likely, yes. Yes, that's for sure.
So.
But let me elaborate that a bit. For me, I talk about connecting to nature, connected to the car all the time. And if you look at the combustion engine from its physical point of view and how it creates the power, it's all about oxygen, fuel, and fire, right? So it's all of those elements are quite heavily involved in nature, right? Yes, I understand that electricity is made out of perhaps wind or waterfalls, etc., but you don't get connected to the natural, how should I put it, the elements. And I've never thought about that until I spent a lot of time with the Taycan. And that's what I think I'm going to appreciate the most driving the Spyder, is to have that touch and feel in the throttle. I'm actually controlling elements of the nature.
You're destroying nature.
Yeah, I know, and I'm so sorry, dear environmentalist on the other side of this screen. Sorry for really affecting the world, but that's what I mean. I think I ended up after the drag race with a Tesla saying that I'd rather buy a GT4 and a Tesla. So then I can drive the electric car back and forth to work and then have fun and meeting the nature on the weekends.
And of course, there's also another element in that electric cars will never have gearbox, proper gearboxes,
Agreed.
I mean, doing this, driving, you take away one thing from the driver experience in my world.
Agreed. And in a time where electric vehicles are getting super fast, I think it's fair to say super fast, because 4 doors alone, you've seen it all over YouTube where Tesla competes against Lamborghinis and other supercars, right? And in that time, to get presence in the driving starts to get more essential for me rather than just getting speed.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I think we should pay respect for those people that still are tracing that lap times, tracing that speed. Yeah. Because remember, when I was in my 30s, you were with me when I was chasing the lap times at Nürburgring. Yeah. It's a different part. I mean, it's... maturity, is that a word, or?
Yeah, it probably is. But it still is like, I talk a lot about, do you have more fun in a car or not? I mean, it's like, am I going to have more fun in this one than the Carrera T? Who knows? Probably not. Does it make me feel better, this one? Yeah, I don't know. Let
me refer a discussion we had this morning, and we talked about your Volvo V90. Yeah. and you said, well, it could be quite nice, and you said something very important. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah. I'm talking about, because it's quite a big engine in that car. Not a big engine displacement-wise, but it has 250 horses, something like that. But the chassis doesn't, it cannot handle that kind of power. So it's a totally different experience to drive
rubbish.
That one. So it's like you're a bit afraid when you drive it.
Yeah.
So that it brings another, element into that equation.
I had a friend that was racing with a Mini, the first generation Mini. The original, right? And he said, it goes slow as hell, but I'm more afraid braking with this old Mini than it is with a Porsche. And I kind of understand what you mean, that getting in touch to stress that feeling.
To reach the edge of the limit of the car. And if you pass that one, you're probably going to end up in the ditch or whatever like that. And also with these cars, it's going to be, we're not going to reach the limit with these cars.
No, we will
for
not.
Sure. So it's there's always something. You have to try to find the good things in every car, even if it has like 100 horsepower. It could be still fun. you know?
Yeah, I drove your 944 S2 a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, and it was 200 plus horsepower. We don't know after 30 years what it is, but 211 was the original. And when I revved through that engine, the 3-liter 4-cylinder displacement in that car, it puts such a big smile on my face.
It does. I mean, and it doesn't go fast at all.
No,
I mean, it's
at all.
a standard car these days in terms of acceleration and stuff like that. But something is still there when you push the throttle, and it's like, wow! You have to really force it to move a bit. But,
and you feel that you push it.
And also the chassis is like, whoa.
Yeah,
everywhere.
It's a bit old. and that's what I loved with my Cayman T.
Yeah.
Coming to that a bit and elaborate a bit, because the feeling when you twisted, again, I haven't driven yet, but when we twisted the GT4 just a couple of minutes ago, I got the same feeling on my Cayman T, and it only had 300 horsepower, but I really loved driving that car because on the same bombshell as you're talking about, where you could stretch that engine to the very end, and it's felt like you could really push it, right?
You had to push it.
I had to push it to make it go fast.
I think the chassis was going to be able to handle like 500 horsepower or even more.
At least. But that gave me so much drivability, because I believe that what we're going to experience in this is the cars will be our teacher and not the opposite.
Yeah, of course.
And the question for me is, what is most fun? And that is going to be the big question for me to answer with these cars.
Do you think you're going to have fun?
We're going to have a blast. So it's time for me to
Should you fire her up?
Fire her up. Let's do that first drive.
Maybe have the sound as well from the engine, but I don't think we got the sound from the GT4.
No, we're gonna record it. We're gonna go for some rides. We're gonna do some B-roads, even though we needs to run in our engines. So shall we go?
Let's go.
Well, now it is time for the very, very, very first drive. Ooh, I'm so looking forward to it. But first, this is Sweden, and yes, it is very cold still. So I'm gonna try to avoid getting cold, but nevertheless, ooh, it's time. The very first start. Let's rock and roll. Having you one revving his GT4 behind me, it's perfect. Well guys, you're with me the first meters in my 718 Spyders. What can I say? It feels a bit, how should I put it? Unrealistic. Oh, the gearbox. There is no complaint about that, that's for sure. Oh, I already felt the diff. That's the point, the getting to know it. When you give that little throttle, in the same time you lift up the clutch and you feel how the rear wheel connects to each other. Oh, that's marvelous. Oh, this car. So what I'm doing right now is I try to experience the pass. So I'm switching on and off just in 50 kilometers an hour. This is what I do with every car that I test, just to feel in the different speeds. I also test when I give 20-30% throttle to better feel how the balance of the car is coped by the steering. So that's normally what I do. And then I just give a bit more throttle to feel a bit, okay, where is the car going? What is the expected from it? Getting to know it. And that's something I really recommend everybody to do. Why are people complaining about the sound of this vehicle, by the way? I'm already in love with it. I am in love with it. And bringing in the nature as we do with convertibles, I've said it before, I'm saying it again. It is spectacular. That's what you should do. Bring in the nature into your driving. No comments yet on the long gearing. I know everybody will know that. I have to run in the engine to be able to answer that. So I have about 1,000 kilometers before anything happens in that regards. So we have approached the B road, and your one is getting there. So, oh, whew. This is oh my God! This reminds me of my Cayman T. Woohoo! Oh well, there goes all my things. Oh, B roads, here we go again. My gosh, I'm gonna have a blast this summer. What is this? Oh, yeah, thumbs up you one. It's amazing to drive it. I'm sorry guys, but it's oh my gosh. End of story. I just had 60 seconds of B roads, end of it. What's happening with this car? Yes, what is happening? Well, first of all, I'm seated in a GT car from Porsche Motorsport, providing one of the best tools for it. Second of all, I don't have a roof extending the connection with the road and nature.
You came into my life and started a fire. You made me feel like I could touch the sky. Oh, there's nothing missing now that you're my desire. Now all I have to do is to make you mine. 'Cause I know, and you know what we could be. Like a song, like a perfect melody. Baby, don't say you don't believe in me. 'Cause you know, and I know, we're onto something good. You know, and I know, we got something good.
Let's end up this in the studio. What a day it has been, hasn't it? Ooh, it's hot in here. But taking delivery with your best friend is marvelous. Ooh. Well, you have checked out my merch. I hope please support my channel by sharing my videos on social media and perhaps buy some merch. All money go directly to producing videos for you guys to watch. Conclusion. One thing we have already settled. If you go into a Porsche Center and option out your Spyder GT4 with comfort seats, then GTS 4.0 is what you need, because you will not be satisfied with the chassis on the Spyder GT4, and I've seen it so many times where people go in, buy a GT car just because they got an allocation, sell it a couple of months later because they don't appreciate the ride. This Spyder GT4 is the ride for the driver and those who appreciate track days and B roads and do not want to commute. So if you option out with comfort seat, then don't buy the GT4 Spyder. Go with the GTS 4.0 or even better, the 4-cylinder displacement. I believe that the chassis that is provided by Porsche Motorsport is not better than what I had in my Cayman T with a Lynch chassis, but I need to do and perform more tests to have 100% conclusion in that, and that is what I'm intended to do. I'm going to go on my test runs, I'm going to do all the tests that I usually do, and I will come back to you with a proper review of the 718 Spyder. In the meantime, me and Johan are going to run in our cars to 1,000 kilometers, and then we're going to switch cars so we get a proper measurement between the GT4 and Spyder. And is there a difference? Well, I will definitely let you know. In the meantime, please stay healthy and please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video, and if you are not already, please view my other videos. Blah, what was that? I was saying subscribe, but I already did that. Well, if you are already continuous to watch this totally too long video, then it doesn't matter if I screw up the ending of the video. So I'm gonna go into my house, I'm gonna pick up my son, and we are going for a convertible ride. Drive. Ride is a bike. Drive. Look at the beauty! Woo! You know, I know you want that you're jealous of my car.
Okay.
What is this?
The manual.
This is the manual. It says here, Johan, drive taxi the entire life, for crying out loud. So this is a last preparation where I don't believe it. It feels like the mic is visible. Here we have the top. Let's check. This is preparation, by the way, where I grab my screwdriver. Ridiculous. This is just checking sound, checking where I have the mic, checking the exposure.